So I have never been to NACS before. In fact, I have never been to Vegas or America at all. So this is a
Oh,
first for me all round.
Oh,
um,
wow.
but I know you guys have been before. So, and Riley, I hear you're a bit of a NACS veteran. How many NACS shows have you been to?
been to a lot, but my first recommendation is bring a lot of caffeine with you when you get to Las Vegas. Yeah, you're going to need it. I was thinking about that. I have been to perhaps 30 to 35 consecutive
Wow.
NACS. And I was thinking back at some of the venues, and here in the past few years, we've been rotating between Atlanta, Las Vegas, it seems like, but they regularly rotated Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, Las Vegas, and even had San Francisco thrown in there a time or two. And I've been to every one of those. But it's really been a fun show. It is one of the most exciting shows. It's so much fun just to be in that environment and see all the stuff that makes up a convenience store. One other thing I'll mention, Joe, is they used to have just a separate NACS technology convention. So in the late 80s, when NACS was going, it was really all about the merchandise, the stuff, that's sold. And I remember, you may remember this, Alexia, maybe not, but before, I was working in the industry before, you could swipe your credit card at the pump and pay for gas. And I remember when this thing called CRIND, card reader in display, came out, and it was a major debate in the industry. It was going to ruin the inside sales of the convenience stores because everybody was going to swipe their card and leave. And I remember that triggered a lot of technology discussion, and there wasn't all that much technology in the convenience store industry. So they created what was called NACS Tech, and the first one was in Dallas at the Anatole Hotel. And I got to attend that and attended that for several years until they finally brought the technology stuff into the big NACS show. And now the technology pavilion is huge and one of the most important parts of the show. So yeah, I've kind of seen a lot of NACS. They used to bring in guest speakers. I've seen Bill Clinton. I've seen George Bush. I've seen Hillary Clinton, Jeff Foxworthy, Jay Leno. Yeah, I've seen a lot in 30, 35 years or whatever it's been. But it is an exciting and great show for sure.
Have you got a favorite moment from NACS in the 35 years?
Well, there's so many. I mean, I think the big thing for me at NACS is just seeing all your old friends. You make supplier friends, vendor friends, customer friends. You get to see your customers. That's the huge part of NACS, is getting to see the people that often all year long, all you've done is email them or Teams meetings with them and things like that. I remember one moment, there was a gentleman named Hank Armour. He's the president of NACS. So at my previous company before Kalibrate, this company called Pinnacle, he was a customer there, and we used to do a lot of projects with him. And he, really smart guy, PhD from Stanford. He did such a fantastic job in his 1 year as NACS president. They extended that. He was the first person they extended his presidency with, and then they made him the permanent president. So he's been like the permanent NACS president now for 10, 15 years or something. Really sharp guy and does a lot. So I was there at that NACS where he was proclaimed emperor of NACS, for all time. So I remember that was probably a good memory, Yeah.
I think the people element is such an important part of what makes NACS very, very special. I mean, so I'm a relative NACS newbie. So the first NACS I went to was post-pandemic. But I know that for me, actually, that's what made the first NACS I went to so much more special, because we hadn't been seeing our customers face to face for such a long time. And actually to be in this, well, I call it a room, but I mean, it's a pretty large room. But to be in the same room as all your customers and have the opportunity to really see all these people face to face who we hadn't been having sort of direct face to face contact, and to have, a couple of days where you can kind of concentrate all of that catching up. And I mean, that's so special. And, that human interaction and being able to see people face to face and put name to faces sometimes, or faces to names sometimes. And, I was reminded of this, it became a bit of a trope during the pandemic, which was obviously we saw everyone in these little squares. And it's really hard to get a feel for people's height, right? Because everyone's sitting down. And there was this bit of a thing going around at the time. It said, when you see people on Teams or Zoom or whatever height you think people are, you're wrong. And actually, I thought NACS was the first place really where I started meeting so many people for the first time. And I thought, that's so true. And those of you who've had the chance to meet Riley face to face will know that he's not small. So
well, people said every time someone meets me, goes, "Holy cow! I didn't know your head was that big." I mean, that's a giant head. No,
Well, and for me, like I couldn't agree more about the people element of NACS. So this will be my fourth NACS with Kalibrate. And for me, having been in the industry, for what, about 25 years now, my entire professional career in the industry, mostly on the C-store operations side of the business. When I go to NACS, it's, I love learning about the new technologies that are out there. I love being able to interact with my existing clients, but also to be able to interact with my former convenience store cohorts from my old oil industries, and also to be able to meet with my future clients that we certainly hope they're future clients and show them everything that Kalibrate has. It's a one-stop shop. I travel the country visiting my clients, and I feel very fortunate to be able to see them face to face. But when you go to NACS, you get almost like a lineup of all of your clients, and you're able to swap perspectives. Sometimes you see your clients interacting, two different clients interacting with each other and having really lively discussion. And it's not just about me imparting my knowledge or my expertise within Kalibrate or the industry, but it's also about me learning. Those NACS sessions that you get to attend where you learn from some of the industry experts, walking around the trade show floor and learning from the different businesses that might have synergies with Kalibrate, where we could then, partner together. Like, these are all the reasons that getting under that same roof and having those conversations is so valuable, not just to us, but everybody else that attends.
And I think one of the other things is one of the reasons why in Kalibrate, particularly in the customer facing group, you'll see a lot of us have been with Kalibrate quite a long time. So I've been with Kalibrate 11 years, and I have quite a few customer facing colleagues who've been here even longer. And one of the reasons why we stay so long is because we love the industry. So I'm the same as Alexia. I've done nothing else my entire career. Pre-Kalibrate, I also worked in the oil industry. I've done nothing else but the oil industry since I was 21, and I love it. I still have, after 20 odd years, I'm still passionate about it. I still find it's just an ever evolving dynamic industry, and NACS is actually just the embodiment of it. It's just such an amazing show where you're right, you get to talk to interesting people, find interesting things to look at and see and learn, and it's just such an ever evolving industry that actually having the opportunity to be in a place where you can see that kind of happening in real time is actually really, really exciting. I think a couple of years ago, our booth was a little bit down the road from like an Amazon Go demonstration. So you could actually, walk in, pick up your things, walk out. And obviously that was when that was quite new and exciting. And it's just seeing things like that, seeing things that, are potentially going to start shifting the needle, like pay at pump, for example, at one point, those things that are going to have, impacts on our customers. It's really amazing to have the opportunity to go and be part of that as well. And just such a brilliant energy. And I like to think that we also contribute to the energy. We love meeting our customers. We love meeting prospects and talking to people. So, I think for us, it is just that real pleasure to be able to come and, show people what we can do and how we can help.
Yeah, the customer success people are the stars of the Kalibrate booth for sure, right? Because you guys are working with them every day, answering their questions, helping them when they need help, helping them with strategy. You're the product experts. And when they get a chance to sit down at the booth, they could spend 10 minutes with you guys at the booth and accomplish hours worth of work, that might happen over many Teams meetings. And yeah, there's always the big throng of people around the CS folks waiting for their turn to talk and stuff. And yeah, it's awesome. It really is, because as everyone said, it's the customers that make us go. And Kalibrate does one thing super well, and that's assign and have people work with these clients that keep them using the products as best as possible. And you guys do a great job.
So I think that's one of the big draws of why you need to come and see us at NACS this year, to come and see the people behind the technology, to come and meet us face to face. What are the other draws? Why do people need to come over to our booth this year?
See what's new.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I heard we're having a couple of really cool games this year, which I'm super excited about. So there's prizes, I think, for like the best network planner and the best pricing analyst that comes out of it. So I'm really looking forward to interacting with clients around that and getting some discussion going from it.
Me too. I'm building the games now, so we're going to have 2 games, one based on pricing and one based on planning, and they are time trials. So you get data from our systems. You've got 5 minutes to make some strategic decisions based on a field network in Las Vegas. And Alexia's right, there's 2 prizes. There's a $100 Amazon voucher up for grabs for both games, and endless bragging rights. So we're going to crown the best network planner and the best pricing analyst at NACS. So yeah, come along and have a go. I'm really excited to see how people interact with that, and hopefully we can get a bit of competition going, see how competitive you guys are going to get.
Yeah, it'd be a great opportunity for people to kind of measure themselves up against each other and kind of see, who within a short period of time who can make the smartest decisions, because that's what we're about at Kalibrate. Really, is about helping people make those smart decisions. So yeah, we're very excited this year to have the opportunity for people to kind of give it a go and see see if they have it in them to be, if they're not already, to be a network planner or a pricer. And who knows, maybe we'll find some vocations out there.
Well, I'll say, knowing some of my clients, I think the competition is going to be really fierce. I have some very competitive clients out there, so I can't wait to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, the customers should bring their questions, right? Bring your business challenges, bring your questions, bring your concerns. You'll have a variety of people to meet with in management and support and the whole thing, so you can get a lot done, when you come to the booth and spend a little time. And as long as you don't make me use this game and show how little I would produce using these systems.
I think we'll make you do it first, Riley.
Keep the salespeople out.
We should have a little internal competition, who from Kalibrate is able to knock it out the park.
I know all the answers because I'm helping draw the things. So I can't do the planning one, but I'll give the pricing one a go. I'll get my old pricing hat back on and try and get back into the pricing manager groove. So, and of course, we've talked a lot about clients, but, I think in terms of prospects. So if you don't know us already, if you haven't had, the opportunity to interact with either us or with our products, I think this is definitely the opportunity to make this the NACS You Speak to Kalibrate, and get to see, what a incredibly knowledgeable group of people we are, but also I like to think of quite a friendly crew. So I think it's definitely a good opportunity to come and speak to a group of people who love the industry, love what they do, love their products, and are really, really passionate about, like I say, helping our clients navigate the industry, make better decisions, and really, turbocharge their business. And that's what we're really, really about. It's about helping our clients, the people who use our products every day, really just do better and find those incremental gains that are going to allow them to succeed.
Yeah. Elizabeth, we think of convenience store owners that will come to the show as convenience store owners, but many of these companies are in other areas of business. You can consider QSR, it's part of a convenience store, but it can also be unique. A lot of our clients own motel chains. They own storage facilities. They have fuel wholesale. They sell fuel to dealers. It's not just about their own, company op stores. And we have something to address really, really all of those in a lot of different ways. So, Kalibrate has evolved in the past few years to really extend beyond the convenience and fuel that people probably still think of us as. But we can address any industry really with any kind of question, especially with regards to network development or you say mobility analytics, those kind of things.
I've been hearing lots of stories recently of our fuel and convenience customers that are using different sorts of some of our solutions, but in different ways, in really interesting ways.
Yes.
So I think your point earlier, Riley, of people coming up and bringing their business questions, whether you think it's something that can be resolved by Kalibrate planning or Kalibrate pricing or not, come and try us out, because actually people are using our solutions to answer lots of different questions at the moment, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So as a closer, what are you looking forward to the most at NACS? Is there anything we've missed so far?
Well, so Alexia, was it last year? I think it was last year, wasn't it? That we made a little tour of the Hershey's booth, and we got we got the ice cream with the peanut butter cups, and they were pretty. That was probably one of the apart from the customers, which we love, and everything else, that probably was one of the highlights of my NACS last year. So I'm quite excited to see if there's something similar again this year.
Yeah.
So I will probably definitely be making my way around to that side of the convention center at some point.
That's
Nathan's hot dogs, Nathan's hot dogs, Red Bull, all the free coffee, all the grazing that you can do within about 50 steps of the booth. But one of the things that I really enjoy doing at NACS, besides the Hunters Club, is a good place to hang out too. But like walking to education classes or walking to the booth or just being around the environment, how many faces you see if you've been around long enough that people, and all of a sudden you look up and there's somebody that you haven't seen in a few years. You get a chance to say hello and things like that. So yeah, it's really about the people. It's really about seeing all the people that'll be there.
This industry is so sticky, isn't it? So as you can probably hear from my accent, I'm not from the US, so it's a little bit further for me to get up to NACS. But last year I went and I actually bumped into a colleague who I'd worked with in the UK 15 years previously.
Oh, wow.
And he just randomly walked past the booth and I saw him and I went, I know you. And and that's what's amazing about this industry. Like I say, it's such a sticky industry. People who come and work in it tend to just love it and stay and just move around. So if you can find two people who can randomly walk into each other, who both worked in Watford, for those of you who knew it, who both worked in Watford in the United Kingdom 15 years previously, and bump into each other on the floor of NACS Atlanta, then I think it just goes to show that there's always something interesting and exciting that can happen at NACS.
Yeah,
get up and move around.
It does have a feel of like a family reunion sometimes, where you're, it's like, oh, I haven't seen you in years, kind of a feeling.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll take you under our wing, Joe, and you will become a NACS. You'll be a NACS veteran in no time.
I'll show you.
I'll take you around to the Hershey's booth.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll meet you there.
Definitely one of my favorite moments, Elizabeth, coming back from there giggling like little schoolgirls while we had all of our treats. Yeah. No, I'm just excited for it. I'm really looking.
I know this is kind of pumped me up a little bit.
I think
it's still 6 weeks away.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Bring some walking shoes. Bring some good walking shoes.
Yeah, sensible shoes. For sure.